Hey, what is up you guys? My name is Catherine and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you 3 different ways that I like to apply my Stila Glitter and Glow Magnificent Metal Liquid Eyeshadows on the eye. Sort of 3 different techniques or 3 different placements that I like to use. This video was actually a suggestion by my subscriber Christy. She said that she'd love to see how I actually use these on the eye, because she just finds them to be a little bit intimidating. So thank you for the video suggestion, Christy, and I hope that the rest of you guys enjoy this video as well. I am always open to subscriber requests for videos. In fact, I really love getting subscriber requests because then I know that I'm making a video that you guys want to see. So if you have any videos that you have been wanting to see made here in beauty YouTube land, definitely leave me a comment down below. I will do my best to accommodate your request. If you're like, oh, please review the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes, I might be like, okay, please Venmo me $250 because your girl is just not shelling out that type of cash right now. But I will do my best, so please leave me suggestions down below. I will love you forever. So I actually own the Glitter on the Go Trio, where you get 3.07 ounce sizes of these liquid eyeshadows for $25 as opposed to 1.15 ounce size for $24. So this trio can be purchased at Sephora, and it comes with the shades Kitten Karma, which is described as Champagne, Copper, and Silver, Rose Gold Retro, which is described as Rose Gold and Silver, and Smoldering Satin, which is Deep Tan and Silver. So I'm going to be doing one look with each of these eyeshadows. Obviously you don't have to have this exact color to do these looks. This is more just for placement suggestion and to show you guys sort of the technique of how I apply these in different places on the eye. So before we get started, if you're not already, if you could go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos twice a week. And let's go ahead and get started with these tutorials. Alright, so this first look that we're going to be doing is a Peachy Halo Eye. So I'm starting out with my LA Girl blush in Just Natural. I like to use blush as a transition shade if I know what blush I'm going to be using, because it really helps tie the look together. Going in on my favorite BH Cosmetics number 11 brush. And I'm very lightly sweeping that over the top of my eye. And since this is a blush, like, you're really not going to get a whole lot of pigment out of it. They're meant to sort of be sheared out. That's also what makes them great transition shades. Next, I'm going to be going into my Makeup Revolution Iconic Neutrals 2 palette, and this is the shade that I'm going to use. And I'm going to just tap my brush into this shade as well. So I'm going in on a e.l.f. brush that the label has worn off of. I need to get some new brushes over here. And starting out on the outer corner, I'm like packing it on, but also just going like slightly back and forth as I go. So you basically just want to bring that color slightly above your crease on both sides. And then I'm going back into that BH Cosmetics brush, and I'm going into that first peachy shade from the Makeup Revolution palette, and I'm starting out with little swirlies and I'm brushing it upwards. And then once you've blended it up nicely, you also just sort of bring it over. You don't add any new pigment to bring it over. You just close that little loop with whatever is on your eyes. So typically when I am using the Stila Magnificent Metal eyeshadows, and I really want them to pop on my lid, I will first lay down another shimmer powder shadow under them. So on my lid, I'm going to use the shade Girls Bite from my ColourPop I Think I Love You palette. And I'm going onto this with the flat end of a Naked palette brush. And I am going to just spritz this with my rose water and glycerin because I want this to really stay where I'm putting it. So I'm doing the like thing where you sort of carve a cut crease, but only where you're going to put the halo. And I'm bringing it all the way down. So you don't have to worry about this being super pigmented and poppin', because that's not the main event. It's not what we're here for. I'm going to go in with my Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow eyeshadow in Kitten Karma. And I typically wipe off the excess product on the end. And so what I'll do is where I have that detail area, I'll just take the tip And I bring it over, sort of lining that. And then I'm gonna dip it back in, and I just sort of stamp it on my lid and very, very gently swipe it all the way up the eye. And while it's drying, I take my ring finger and I'm just sort of tapping out those edges. We are gonna blend more powder shadow over top of that, but this is just to help get started with the blending process. And then if you've blended away too much of that glitter and it's just not popping how you want, you can just add a little bit more right at the center part of the lid. So that's where I would add more. And then again, you just sort of blend it out into the rest of the glitter shadow. And then to just really, really make sure those edges are blended, I'm going back into this shade from the Makeup Revolution palette on that same e.l.f. brush. And I'm very, very gently going back and forth right at those edges. And this is also gonna sort of deepen up the halo. Then I'm just taking that shade and I'm bringing it under my eye. And then I'm taking my treat again from the I Think I Love You palette on my pinky and then my index finger. And I'm popping that on my inner corner. So that's it for the eyeshadow. I'm gonna go finish up the rest of my look. Alright, so we're all done. This is my cute little Peachy Halo Eye using the Stila liquid eyeshadow. Hope you enjoyed this one and stay watching for the others. So for my next look, I'm going into my ColourPop I Think I Love You palette. I'm going into the shade Bel Air with my BH Cosmetics number 11 brush. And using very, very big circular motions, you're very lightly placing that down in the outer corner so that it goes above your crease, but you're not bringing it over here, you're just keeping it in that outer corner area. And then on a BH Cosmetics Studio Pro number 5, I'm going into this shade Screw It, and you're going in lightly still, and you're just gonna go like really, really concentrated and swirl that out right there just to really deepen up that corner. And then I'm just giving it a few more swirls with that number 11 brush to make sure those edges are super, super diffused. And then I am going into this shade Howdy on a ColourPop blending brush. And you're gonna get a decent amount on there, but try to tap off that fallout because these shimmers do carry a bit of fallout. And you're putting that in the outer corner and just sort of going back and forth so that it goes up into the crease. And you want to bring it out to about that edge of your iris right there. And then I'm taking that BH Cosmetics number 5, again, not adding any new product. And I'm swirling across the top of that in sort of a windshield wiper motion. I really want these edges to be blended out. And then you're going to dust away that fallout. And then here is where the Stila eyeshadow comes into play. This is the shade Rose Gold Retro. This is the one that I definitely use the least, so I wanted to make sure to push myself to use it in this video. So notice how I didn't lay a base shadow down on this part of my eye. So I'm putting it only on the lid and bringing it out across to about where we ended that bronze. A little bit past where we ended it because we don't want there to be like any patchy transition areas. We want there to be solid shadow all the way across. I'm taking my finger and I'm dabbing it up. And it should blend upwards pretty easily. And then make sure to just dab it out a little as well. So since there is no shadow under this, it's pulling as a lot more of a sheer color with just a little bit of glitter in it. So if you want, you can leave it like that. I still want it to pack a little bit of a punch, so I'm just gonna put one more swipe on my lid. And then since you've already blended out this shadow all the way up, you don't need to blend a whole lot, but I just am gonna tap those edges a teensy bit more. And then I'm going into that bronze shade Howdy again on a BH Cosmetics number 11 Studio Pro brush, and I'm just bringing that under my lower lash line. And then I don't really want any type of crazy inner eye highlight today, So I'm just going into ColourPop Flexitarian just a bit, and I'm just dabbing that right there. This is a very, very eye-opening look, so you don't really need to go crazy with the inner eye highlight. Your eye should already look very open as it is. So that is it for the eyeshadow. I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup and show you what this look looks like completed. Alright, so this is the final look. It's very like blended, bronzed, glowy. I definitely think that this would be a great one to start out with if you're just getting into this liquid eyeshadow thing. It's very, very easy to blend these out, and it looks very sheer, subtle. So I would definitely recommend starting with this if you're a little intimidated by the liquid eyeshadows, but I hope you enjoyed this look, and stay tuned for the last one. Alright, this last look is going to be our most dramatic one. We're going to be doing a half cut crease. Starting out by going into this dusty mauve shade in the Carly Bybel Deluxe palette on my BH Cosmetics number 11 brush. I can't believe they discontinued this palette. I truly can't. So you're doing swirly motions on the outer corner of your eye and then windshield wipering it over. So you want to have good color payoff right in here, but you still want it to be nice and blended. Then on a BH Cosmetics Studio Pro number 5, I'm going into this darker, more burgundy purple shade. And I'm concentrating that on the outer portion of my eye, and then gently bringing it over just a bit. But you want most of that darkness to be in the outer corner of the eye. And then for good measure, we're going to take that BH Cosmetics number 11 again and just really, really swirl over top of that darker color. Really work it into the skin and blend it. Then on the flat end of a naked brush, we're going into this shade right here. Sort of a taupe rose color, I guess is the best way to describe it. Not the best at describing colors. I wish this had a name. And since I want this to be precise, I'm giving it a spritz of rose water and glycerin. And we're carving that half cut crease. Then I'm taking the Stila liquid shadow in Smoldering Satin, and I press it all the way under the eye, and I just follow that line in a swooping motion. And once that line is properly traced, you can also fill in the rest of that lid. So since this is a half cut crease and we want that top part to be defined, the only part that we're blending is that outer portion. So you're just going to take your finger and tap out those edges. And then that dark color just wasn't pulling as purpley as I remembered. So I then dipped into my ColourPop You Had Me at Hello palette. This is the shade Winning Ticket. It's more of a purple. And I'm just using that to deepen up that outer corner. I just love the combination of this Smoldering Satin shadow and purpley cool tone shadows. So then for the under eye, I'm just taking that same BH Cosmetics brush and I'm just bringing that color down. Not adding any more to the brush, we're just working with what we already have. And then back into that Carly Bybel palette, I'm dipping my finger into this highlighter shade and this highlighter shade, and we're just popping that ever so slightly on the inner corner. And then I am finishing this eye look up with a wing. I just felt like a look this dramatic needs a wing. So this is the final look for today's video. This is seriously one of my favorite go-to looks ever. Purple tones look great on hazel eyes, and this smoldering satin shade looks amazing with purple and other cool toned shadows. Thank you again, Christy, for the video suggestion. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and definitely feel free to leave me video suggestions down below. I always love to hear feedback from you guys. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on Sunday. Bye!